Hi everyone, for today's makeup look, I did this glittery black smoky eyes paired with red hot lips. And also for today's holiday glam makeup tutorial, I have collabed with one of my YouTuber friend from all the way in India. Her name is Deepti. She's amazing and she definitely has a lot of talent. I will link her channel down below on the description box for you guys to have a look. Definitely go ahead and check her channel out. So without further ado, I'm gonna go ahead and get started. I'm going to spray my face with Maybelline setting spray, and then moving on to my foundation, I'm going to use my Urban Decay All Nighter foundation in number 08, and I'm going to use this damp beauty blender to blend that into my skin. Moving on to my highlight, for that I'm going to be using my L'Oreal Infallible Pro Matte in number 08. This foundation is currently my current go-to highlight foundation. Previously, you have probably seen me using a lot of concealers. Currently, I'm loving this whole foundation routine because I think the foundation actually, especially the foundation that dries matte, has beautiful coverage, and L'Oreal Pro Matte is one of them that has amazing coverage, and definitely it feels a lot lighter on my skin, so I'm preferring liquid foundation that to be using it as my highlighter as opposed to concealer. So it's just became my current go-to highlight foundation. And using my damp beauty blender, I'm going to blend that into my skin as usual. Always make sure you are pounding it onto your skin as opposed to, creating strokes. To set my under eyes, I'm going to be using my Inglot translucent powder, and using my damp beauty blender, I'm baking my underneath my eyes and around my laugh lines. Taking a big fluffy brush, I'm going to use more powder to set the rest of my face. And once that's done, I'm going to be using Inglot Brow Gel in number 03. And I'm just going to run over my brows. This is basically going to take away all that excess powder that has been sitting on my brows. Next, moving on to my Give Me Sun bronzer by MAC Cosmetics. I'm just going to go over my contoured areas. Next, I'm going to use my next 3 steps to sculpt, and I'm using that contour powder to contour my face. Next, I'm going to move on to my blush. For that, I'm using MAC Mineralized Blush in shade Love Thing. Now, what I'm doing here is I'm sort of creating that sharp contour line, so I'm just cleaning it up a little bit. And you can always use a translucent powder to create that prominent line right underneath your contour. To set all that powder, I'm using my Maybelline Makeup Setting Spray. And moving on to my highlighter, for that I'm going to be using my Bobbi Brown highlighter, and I'm going to use that on the higher points of my face. And I have yet to contour my nose. I haven't really contoured my nose here yet. Next, moving on to the same palette, I'm going to use a small tiny brush, and I'm going to use that to contour my nose. This is actually a crease brush. And then taking the big fluffy brush, I'm just going to dust off any excess powder sitting around my nose. And moving on to my eyeshadows today, I'm going to be using the palette called Prism. The first color that I'm using, it's called Lure from the Prism palette. And I'm using that on top of my crease and I'm blending it out. Moving on to my next shade for my outer corners, I'm going to be using this color called Parallel from the same Prism palette by Anastasia Beverly Hills. And I'm just going to deposit the color on the outer corners of my eyes. And as I'm blending it, I'm just making sure that I bring it towards the inner part of my eyes as well. And I'm slowly going to darken the intensity of the eyeshadow. Now it's time to darken the outer corners even more. For that, I'm using this color called Obsidian from the Prism palette. This is more like a charcoal black. And eventually we're going to use this black all over the lid because we want it to look more smoky. And I'm also going to bring this color downwards towards the underneath my eyes as well. And what I'm doing here is, besides making faces, I'm actually trying to blend the outer edges more, so the line is more blended and you don't see any more harsh lines. Black shade, I find it is definitely a lot difficult to deal with, so making sure that the black eyeshadow is not falling all over the face, and also the fact that it's all blended and not chalky in one area. It's very important to make sure that it's completely blended. So I'm just here using a flat brush to deposit all that dark eyeshadow from the Prism palette called Obsidian, and I'm just going to deposit right on top of my lid. And here I'm just going to make sure that if there was any fallout, I take that off immediately, because you do not want that excess black eyeshadow sitting on your skin and then eventually melting it into your foundation, making your under eyes look absolutely dark. You definitely don't want that. So it's very important that as soon as you get fallout, you dust it out immediately so it doesn't allow the eyeshadow to sit on your foundation. Now once that's done, it's time for some black kohl pencil. For that, I'm using my Inglot black liner, and I can't remember the number of the shade, but definitely is in shade black. Once the liner is done, it's time to grab some more eyeshadow and then blend my underneath eyes, and I'm just going to make it more blended and more thicker. Next, moving on to my glittery formula, and that is actually by Stilla Cosmetics in shade Molten Midnight. It is so stunning. The moment I put it on, you see this beautiful glittery, like beautiful glitter, silver glitter mixed with black, like consistent, and it just sits on your eyeshadow and completely blends into your eyelid and the rest of the eyeshadow. It's amazing. I absolutely love it. You need to give it almost 30 seconds to a minute for it to dry. Although I keep opening my eyes here, but I'm always making sure I raise my eyebrows a little bit because I don't want it to touch my top section of my eyes. But yeah, you should give it like 30 seconds to a minute for it to dry. And what I'm doing here is I'm just grabbing a very thin brush to sort of, blending out the outer edges of that glitter. That's it. And here I'm just cleaning out any sort of fallouts. I don't think I had any fallouts from the glitter, but I'm just making sure there's no black eyeshadow. Alright, now that one eye is done, I'm going to go ahead and do the other eyes. And there we go. I'm done. And okay guys, obviously eyeshadows are not done that fast. But yep, I did that off the camera. For my mascara, I'm going with my Revlon Mascara All-in-One. Once that's done, I'm going to pop some eyelashes on. For that, I'm using my Ardell Demi Wispies eyelashes. Alright, and it's time for some lipstick. For that, I'm using my Fenty Beauty lipstick in shade red. Obviously, that's the only color they have so far now. Although I've heard they're releasing more colors, but so far this is the only liquid lipstick they have. And definitely, I have to say this, I'm a big fan of this color as well as the feel of this lipstick. Definitely looks matte but feels very velvety to the lips, very hydrating, not drying, does not make my lips feel chapped or anything like that. Alright guys, I hope you guys have enjoyed this tutorial. If you guys have any questions, feel free to question it or comment it down below on the comment section. Do not forget to check out my friends Deepti's video as well. And don't forget to like, comment, share, and subscribe. And also do follow me on Instagram at MakeupbyAzmeree. The link is always down below on the description box. I'll also be posting all the description to the product down below as well for you guys to have a look. Alrighty guys, hope to see you next time on my next video. Till then, do take care of yourself. Thank you so much for watching.